Hi there, this is Josh from Literary Gladiators, and today I am here to talk about the Booktube Prize final round. I had the honor to judge the Nonfiction group in the final round of the Booktube Prize. The finalists for this division were In the Dream House by Carmen Machado, No Visible Bruises by Louise Snyder, Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow, Say Nothing by Radden Keefe, Solitary by Woodfox, and Know My Name by Chanel Miller. The first three books, I'm just going to briefly go over them because I actually read them for the quarterfinals. For the quarterfinals, I was in Nonfiction Group B, and it just so happened that these three books not only advanced to the semifinals, and they were my top three, but they also advanced to the finals as well. So I will give you a brief overview. If you wanted to hear more about my thoughts on these books, you could check out the video of my judging of quarterfinals Nonfiction Group B. And I will also leave down below the my overview of judging for the octafinals Fiction Group G. But In the Dream House has to do with Machado's experiences of being in a psychologically, emotionally, and to some extent physically abusive relationship with another woman. And the one thing that stuck out to me in this was how creative and artistic Machado was with the way that she approached this particular memoir. No Visible Bruises has to do with the many angles and various circumstances pertaining to domestic violence. It's a great overview of domestic violence during this day and age. It also examines those that are abusers and what steps are being taken while they are in the prison system. And Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow has to do with sexual harassment and sexual predators that are in the entertainment industry that really have had a negative impact on those within it, people like Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer. And with Catch and Kill, I admired it for its great sense of honesty and just really exposing what's behind that curtain within the throughout the major networks and productions. Out of the three, the new books that I read for the final round, Say Nothing has to do with the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, and their impact within the area. The IRA is it's a domestic terrorist group that uses violence in order to spread their message and go forth with fighting for what they believe in. They give you both perspectives, so you have the IRA is looking to break away from what they feel is unjust leadership from the British, but at the same time, the people that they are hurting and killing, and the damage that they are causing, this pertains to innocent people that really do not have any power or control, or are doing anything directly to interfere with their circumstances. They specifically concentrate on the McConville family and how they kidnapped their mom and she just disappeared and never came back, which it's just a very brutal circumstance, and you get the idea as to what motivated the people that were involved in the IRA. I cannot help but think about ISIS when they think that they can make a huge difference, but what is it really when what you're really doing is hurting and terrorizing innocent people? While it opened my mind up to those particular details, I cannot say that this was... I felt that I came out of this with plenty of questions, and I didn't feel... I wish that there were a little bit more clarification in particular areas. Next, I read Solitary by Albert Woodfox. Woodfox is known for being part of the Angola 3. If you were to look him up, his Wikipedia page mentions him as being part of the Angola 3 along with Herman Wallace and Robert King. Robert King is the one that's most well known, but we get a sense of Woodfox's upbringing as a someone part of the black community in Louisiana. Woodfox follows a life of crime, and he is in and out of jail and prison, but he's ultimately accused of the murder of a prison guard by the name of Brent Miller. He, Herman Wallace, and two other people, and he ends up being involved in a very sketchy court situation, which causes him to be sentenced to life in prison, and he spends 44 of those years roughly, because sometimes he's taken out when he's waiting for appeal, but he spends this time in solitary confinement, which I learned so much about his immediate experience. It's very atmospheric. He really gives you that sense of what it is like to be in his shoes and in his circumstance. And he's also very honest about the fact that he has owned up to terrible things that he has done, and ways that he has acted and hurt other people, more so in the taking advantage stance, because he did not... there's the way that the everything is adding up. There is no way that he could have killed Brent Miller, but they also saw him as a threat because of his involvement with the Black Panthers and the fact that he really did his best to self-educate himself, primarily through reading and keeping up with current events as best as possible, and he really did a great job
putting this together and giving us a sense of his perspective. And I learned so much about Woodfox through this perspective of his. Then I read Know My Name by Chanel Miller, and Chanel Miller was, in January of 2015, sexually assaulted by Brock Turner. This was a prolific court case. You would know Miller better by her alias of Emily Doe, but Chanel Miller wanted to make a point in informing people that she, in fact, had an identity, and that women and girls that are like her, they too have an identity. And she wanted to point out that the society in general has been very slanted with regard to these particular cases, where they will say that the reason that the man, the boy, or the male half would act in a certain way is because the woman or the girl is tempting them, the female, which instead of being tempting, the males should practice self-control. And Miller points out what it was, how she felt within this, within her circumstance, how it felt physically, how it caused her to react to this and to things that were going on in her life, and pretty much tell people that this should not define you. These kind of you have to be able to get up and keep going, and that this should, I think, it's a teaching experience, and I think that she did a great job making this as accessible to anybody that's looking to open their mind and learn more about sexual harassment and sexual assault as they are able. And now for my rankings for the Booktube Prize Nonfiction Finals. In 6th place, I put Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe. It's just out of the 6, it's the one that left me the most yearning and looking for more, and a little bit puzzled. Number 5 is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. It's probably the one that was the lightest out of the 6, but it still was very creative, artistic, and clever, very unique. Number 4, I have Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I thought that this was a very, very meaningful and powerful piece, but the top 3, to me, really gave me the material that I was really looking for, and gave me that sense of thinking about the subject matter beyond the text. Number 3 is No Visible Bruises by Louise Snyder. I think that this really gave me a greater idea regarding the various angles of domestic violence and the
information, the data, and the fuel that I needed in order to get a greater insight and explore information regarding the topic some more. Number 2 is Catch and Kill by Ronan Farrow. This really had me thinking and really infuriated me as to how repulsive the entertainment industry is and how there are just terrible people that are preying on females and that are looking to make their way, but their roadblock is the fact that these powerful men are looking to fulfill their own personal desires. And number 1 is Solitary by Albert Woodfox. This is one that I'm looking to, the subject matter within this, I'm looking to explore even more. It really, it just despises me when people are treated unfairly because, number 1, because of who they are, and number 2, because the authorities have greater concern for maintaining control and expecting obedience as opposed to fulfilling leadership to use in order to make the greatest possible experience for the world and the area around them. The results did come out on Saturday, and I was cheering when I saw that No Visible Bruises finished in 3rd, but everything else was a little bit different from the way that I had rated them. My octafinal and quarterfinal choices advanced pretty well. 2 out of my 3 for the octafinal. I went 3 for 3 for the quarterfinals. This one, it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but I'm really happy with how the entire prize went. I think that Robert does a fantastic job. Not just he just does a fantastic job putting this together, and he's very diligent and compassionate about his about this prize and bringing attention in the best way possible to the written works that came out within the during the last year, because these books came out in 2019. Next year's would be 2020 for the 2021 Booktube Prize. I have to decide whether or not I'm going to be taking part, but I was pretty happy to see that he is thinking about incorporating translated fiction, but it may not be for another few years, but still, the prize is making forward progress, and I had quite a nice experience taking part and being able to have my say. So, thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you check out some more videos from this channel, and I hope that you check out and support us on our Patreon, because the money that we make on our Patreon will allow us to provide you, the viewers, with even more content. Thank you, and for now, keep reading.